Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. This is a second game. For the tiebreak, Caruana had white pieces and he started with e4. Carlsen played c5, the Sicilian defense. This was Carlsen's choice weapon for this match. Knight to f3, knight to c6, d4. C takes on d4, knight takes on d4, knight to f6, knight to c3, e5, the Sveshnikov variation. Everything is the same as in the classical game in the round 12. Knight from d to b5, d6, knight to d5, knight takes on d5, e takes on d5, knight to e7, c4, knight to g6, queen to a4, bishop to d7 and pinning queen to b4. So, everything is still the same as in the round 12 of the match. Black to move. In the round 12, Carlsen played bishop to f5. In this game, Carlsen played queen to b8, defending the pawn on d6 that way. h4 intending h5, h5 by Carlsen. Bishop to e3, a6 kicking the knight back, knight to c3, a5 kicking the queen back, queen to b3, a4 kicking the queen again, queen to d1, bishop to e7, white to move, g3 was played. If bishop to d3, then black may capture on h4. g3, queen to c8, bishop to e2, bishop to g4, rook to c1, bishop takes on e2, queen takes on e2, queen to f5, c5, black to move, Carlsen castled kingside, c6. Caruana is creating a passed pawn. B takes on c6, D takes on c6, and yes, the passed pawn is created. Rook from f to c8, queen to c4, bishop to d8, knight to d5, e4. It is white to move, and this is the critical position of the game. What would you do in this position if you had white pieces? Would you play bishop to d4 or c7? c7, pawn push is so tempting. Caruana played c7. This was Caruana's worst move of the match. Why? Let's take it back. Bishop to d4 would take care of knight to e5. Back to our game, c7 was played. And what is wrong with this pawn push? What would you do in this position if you had black pieces? Carlsen played bishop takes on c7. Knight takes on c7, knight to e5, attacking white queen. White to move. Knight to d5 was played. Let's take it back. If queen goes to d5, attacking the rook on a8, then first rook from a to b8, and after castling, rook takes on c7, removing the defender of the white queen. After rook takes on c7, knight to f3 check, and after king to g2, queen takes on d5. Back to our game. So, instead of moving the queen, Caruana played knight to d5. It is black to move. What would you do in this position if you had black pieces? First, I will show you a variation that doesn't work. If rook takes on c4, then knight to e7 check, and after king to f8, knight takes queen, and then after knight to d3 check, king to e2, knight takes on c1, rook takes on c1, rook takes on c1, bishop takes on c1, rook to c8, it is about equal. Back to our game. So taking the queen on c4 is not a good idea, because white has knight to e7 check. The question is, what is the best square for the black king to get out of the range of the knight? Is it h8 or h7? Please pause and find the best square for the king. What did you find? Carlsen played king to h7, and believe it or not, Caruana resigned. Let's take it back. Would Caruana resign if king to h8 was played? If king to h8, then knight to e7 attacking black queen, and after queen to f3 attacking the rook and the queen on c4, then queen takes rook on c8 check, and after rook takes on c8, rook takes on c8 with check, and after king to h7 castling, and it is about equal. Back to our game. King to h7 was played. Caruana resigned. Knight to e7 doesn't work anymore. Let's see why it doesn't work. Then black plays the same. Queen to f3. Still targeting the rook and the queen. And queen takes rook on c8 doesn't work anymore. Because after rook takes on c8, rook takes on c8, this is not check. And that is a huge difference between king to h8 and king to h7. And let's go back. What if, instead of knight to e7, white moves queen to a safe spot? If queen goes to e2, then knight to d3, check, and after king to f1, knight takes on c1, attacking the queen, and after queen to d1, knight to d3, and white has no hope. But let me show you this lovely variation. Knight to e7, forking the queen and the rook, then rook to c1, and after knight takes on f5, rook takes queen check, king to g2, rook takes on h1, king takes on h1, d5, and black is easily winning. And let's go back. If in this position bishop takes rook, then queen takes on f2, checkmate. This was a very sad day for Caruana and his team. What do you think of this game?
And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.